Ladies and gentlemen, I've done a couple of videos on Mark Robinson. He is the lieutenant governor in North Carolina. And every time he talks about the black community, he has nothing but a bunch of disparaging things. He's your typical black Republican that have a boatload of disdain for the people that look just like him. So every time the cameras are rolling and white folk are around, he has to go in on the black community. When the subject of reparations came up, he said black people should be paying white people reparations. And this is the man that Donald Trump calls Martin Luther King on steroids. This man is nothing like Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King, if you can't believe nothing else about that man, he loved his people. And he sure was not going in on his people every time the cameras were rolling like this dude does. I think since I've seen videos on him, I never heard one decent thing about the black community that has parted his lips. Yeah, he failed to pay his taxes for 5 years, but he sure didn't pass up them pork chop dinners for 5 years, did he? Now, I've had black Republicans come in my comment section and you say you are not like that. You are a Republican, but you don't be trashing your own people like that. Well, here's the problem, and just hear me out. When the Mark Robinsons and Candace Owens and Jesse Lee Peterson and Larry Elder, when they come to the forefront and speak, and they're always disparaging the black community because they're trying to score points with their white voters or their white constituents or their white listeners. The black Republicans that claim you are not like that, y'all stay too silent. Y'all stay too silent. And I'll go a step further. Those of you that got channels and you are creators out here on social media, y'all don't say nothing. You don't even so much as do a video challenging the Mark Robinsons among you. Y'all don't say nothing. And that is a problem. That's why y'all got that raccoon reputation that you have. Because when the ones among you become unruly, y'all don't say nothing. I bet every dime in my wallet, if I go to the Black Republican channels out here on YouTube, I bet you none of them got a single disparaging thing to say about Mark Robinson. And as long as y'all don't address the Mark Robinsons among you, you will always have that raccoon reputation, whether you like it or not. These folks are in the forefront. And the ones that claim you're not like that, y'all are just too far in the background. You too far to the point where you're totally silent. And that is a problem. So let's get into it. So the Democratic candidate was able to find this on Mark Robinson. And, he's known for all the extreme positions that he takes. He said Dr. Martin Luther King was a communist. And, I get sick of hearing this, y'all, because this is a load of BS. America is not against communism. Okay. These Chinese people up in here, aren't they from communist China? And America let them set up a Chinatown in every major city across this nation. And then on top of that, they got businesses all over the place here in America, even way outside of Chinatown. So if you were so against communism, then you would never have allowed that to happen in America. The fact that you did tells me as a whore, you are willing to take any dollar. It doesn't matter whether they're communist or Christian. It don't matter to you as long as they got the bucks. You are all for it. That's why I don't listen to that communist talk, because you're a bunch of hypocrites at the end of the day. So, anyway, Donald Trump tried to say this man is Dr. Martin Luther King on steroids. And this man has said so many disparaging things about Dr. Martin Luther King. The problem is Donald Trump loves a bunch of raccoons. That's why he got the Tim Scotts around him, and people like of those ilks around him, because those are the only black men and women that he can tolerate, are raccoons, and that's the vast majority of them. The homegrown down black men and women that speak real about what's going on, they absolutely loathe and hate. But as long as you're willing to live in that same fairy tale with them, oh, they'll love you forever. They'll love Mark Robinson forever. As long as he keeps coming out in front of them cameras and dragging the black community, they will love him forever. Even if he lose the race, Fox News will probably drag him on there with his pork chop eating butt, because he is a pastor. So anyway, now North Carolina Democrats have another issue to attack Robinson on: taxes. ABC News Will Staken, in an article published on April 11th, that is a publication, by the way, reports that Robinson failed to file his federal income taxes for 5 consecutive years, starting in 1998. Robinson, Staken notes, has openly discussed his financial challenges. Listen to his financial challenges. He has been unable to pay his debt, failure to pay his rent, and as you can see, he failed to pay his income taxes. And he filed bankruptcy. According to ABC News and according to Staken, painting more of a dire, detailed picture of his financial and business history than has previously been disclosed. So this man is a wrecking ball when it comes down to his own personal finances. He doesn't believe in paying his rent. He doesn't believe in paying his debt, and he doesn't believe in paying his income tax. I don't believe Dr. Martin Luther King had those issues, Mark Robinson. We sure never heard of any of those things in his background. In fact, he said, "We're coming to collect our check." Mark Robinson is saying, "I'm coming, but I'm running from my debt." Mm-mm-mm. What will your white constituents think about you now, Mark Robinson, when you got such a horrible personal financial record? According to the U.S. bankruptcy in Middle District, North Carolina, Staken explains, Mark and Yolanda Robinson, doing business as Precious Beginnings, filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy on January 8th, 2003. Robinson had previously filed for bankruptcy on two other occasions in 1998 and 1999, seeking bankruptcy protection. The Robinson family described a series of grave economic circumstances. So if you're married to Mark Robinson, the only thing he can do is provide you a life of poverty. That's what Mark Robinson can do for you, Yolanda. He can provide you with a life of poverty. So, anyway, yeah, that's a real provider right there. So, according to their 2003 filing, the family faced the repossession of two vehicles and the impending foreclosure of their Greensboro home. ABC News reporter continues, the records also show that at the time, Robinson had just $70 to his name, 40 in cash, and 30 in savings. Wow. Wow. And this man is getting up and disparaging people in the Black community. Do you know there's a lot of us in the Black community that can produce more than $70 in our bank accounts? We can do a hell of a lot better than that, Mark. That's pretty sad. So you got a wife, and probably, I don't know if he got children. Let's hope this thing did not reproduce, y'all. And if he did, it just goes to show you this man couldn't even afford to take care of his wife and children. This is Pastor Mark Robinson. Please remember that. As well as a $4,720 personal property. They also reported debt surpassing $1 million, including $290,525 in unsecured debt and $871,550 in secured debts. This man is a nightmare with money. He's terrible. He's showing you he's terrible with money. Way too terrible to be trying to drag someone else. This man should not be talking bad about anyone with this kind of record. He needs to go somewhere and shut the hell up. That's what he needs to do. Robinson, according to the documents, had also failed to file income taxes for 5 years. According to Staken, the IRS filed a motion for bankruptcy to compel Robinson to file taxes for the years of 1998 to 2002. So 1998 to 2002. Staken notes, however, Robinson ultimately filed his back taxes in May of '03. Mm, mm, mm. Democratic strategists are hoping that Donald Trump's glowing endorsement of Robinson will hurt him in the 2024 presidential race and give President Joe Biden an advantage in North Carolina. Trump has exalted Robinson as Martin Luther King on steroids, which this man is so far removed from a Dr. Martin Luther King. It's not even funny. Donald Trump, that's not a very good comparison. But it also goes back to what I said before. This is just more evidence that white people really truly don't know black people at all. That's why he can make a statement like that, because he really don't know us. And if he knew the real Dr. Martin Luther King and compared him to Mark Robinson, you would know it's as different as day and night. But he can't see that because he really don't know us. In contrast to its deep red neighbor, South Carolina, North Carolina is a swing state with a term limit Democratic Governor Roy Cooper. In 2020, Trump narrowly defeated Biden in North Carolina. Biden's 2024 campaign sees North Carolina as the 2020 Trump state has had a chance to flip. So they're saying Biden got a really good chance of flipping North Carolina this time around. So, y'all, you're going to have to tell me what you think about this one. Man, don't hold back on this pork chop eating pastor with a bad financial past. Don't hold back, because he sure don't hold back when he gets in front of the cameras about the black community. Mark Robinson, I pray you see my video. And if you got something to say, I'm going to double down on your ass. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.